so Nick, I've got the pastry all ready. This is just a pasta frolla that I made.
That looks terrific. It's
Does
got
it look
a little
good?
bit of sugar in it, right?
About a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1½ cups of flour. It has a little bit of salt, 1 egg, and 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. That's all it is. And then I roll it out, and you see I learned from your books, I really do. I've got my cold marble board.
That's right, that's a big help.
Because when we're talking pastry, we're talking cold, right? That's a real important word.
Makes a big difference. Makes it a lot easier to do.
No
matter what you're doing.
And I've got it on parchment paper, and now Nick is
We sprayed the pan.
We're using a 9-inch
piece of paper in the bottom of the pan.
A little bit of parchment paper.
Makes it easier to unmold later.
And now we can flip this right into the pan.
Should we put this right here?
Put this right here. And we're just going to take the dough and flip it into the pan. And we're going to have to patch this down.
That's flippare in Italian,
flippare. I forgot that. Flippare. Okay. So I'm going to let you put that in there. Slack. We want it slack. So give it a little play. And it doesn't have to come all the way up to the top of the pan, at least if it's coming up halfway.
Right.
All right, so when we have that in the pan, we can just set this aside now, because now we need to make the filling. So
now I need to give it a trim, right?
Okay, yeah.
Just a little
trim
one?
it a little bit, and let me get the filling ingredients.
About halfway up, no?
Yeah, halfway up is good.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to beat up some butter. 4 tablespoons of butter for our Torta di Modena, and a 1/4 cup of the sugar. Now this is really the important process right here, isn't it? Creaming.
You want to get that nice and fluffy?
Nice and fluffy and creamy, really important.
So in the meantime, should I put this stuff together here? We got the diced candied citron.
Yes, that's about a 1/2 cup.
Then there's candied orange peel.
Candied orange peel. Another 1/2 cup.
Lemon peel.
Yep. Can I have those eggs?
Sure.
All right, so
I will crack them.
Want to crack them? Put them right in there.
And then you can just pour them in.
All right, after you've got the butter and the sugar really well blended, then you want to add in those eggs. So I'm going to turn that off before I do that.
That looks good.
So 2 eggs. This is going to become our filling now. So we want to get this smooth.
And this cocoa powder just goes right in here, right?
Right with that.
And what about the almonds? In here too?
The almonds go in there too.
Ground up almonds.
So we have about 3/4 of a cup of candied fruits mixed together. You can use orange peel, lemon peel, citron.
So what about the inevitable question? I hate candied fruit.
Well, if you hate candied fruit,
I mean, I don't, but everybody always says that.
Yeah, you could use dried fruits, or you can get some really good Italian candied fruits, or make your own.
The candied fruit in Italy is so wonderful, isn't it?
So now we have
you get cream.
A 1/2 cup of light cream goes in, and we just, I don't want to splatter that.
A 1/2 bottle of amaretto, or?
No, not a 1/2 bottle. We want about, I'm going to eyeball about a tablespoon.
About a tablespoon?
Yeah, wait a minute.
We leave a tablespoon in the bottle.
Yeah, leave a tablespoon in the bottle and put, that's enough. All right, a tablespoon of amaretto, which we should tell everyone is almond liqueur. Now,
that gives a nice flavor.
This is looking good.
So that we just throw this in and mix it in with the rubber spatula?
Allora, pazienza. 1 minute. Okay, so now, we can put that in. Let me get this out of the way.
Should I just mix this in?
Yes. And why don't you finish mixing that?
That looks great.
That's just part of this recipe, because now what we have to do is make the tagliatelle part.
That's right, the pasta.
We have to do the pasta. So, I did some pasta just before you got here. And here it is, and all this is 2 eggs, 1 cup of flour, a dash of salt, and just a drop of olive oil.
A little oil in there,
A little oil,
huh?
and it makes a really nice moist dough. So now we want to roll this out. So I'm going to flatten this.
Okay. We're gonna do
you know
the
what?
whole piece?
Let me cut it in half because I'm getting over anxious now.
Yeah, I feel lazy.
All right, so now what we want to do is
that looks great.
we want to roll the sheet of dough out so it's nice and thin. Not too thin, but thin enough so that you can see your hand. Now,
here, I'll hold it.
We put this through the thinnest cut.
That looks fantastic.
That look good? This is the vermicelli cut. Okay, so now we bring up.
Here's our dough.
Here's our dough.
In the pan.
So let's do that. Let's
Got a few here that were on the side.
Let's kind of shake them in. Shake them in the bottom so they're loose. You know, you don't want these to dry. And after you do this, well, now you put in the filling. I'm telling you, this is so delicious.
Looks good.
So now that goes right on top. Look at that. Now once you have it all spread nice and neat.
That looks great. Give me that bowl. I'll get rid of it.
Okay. I thought he was going to lick the bowl there for a minute, but we're going to put now, we put some of these just loosely over the top. You can take some of those. And this is going to provide a nice, interesting texture to this torta. And when you eat this, it's in a very thin wedge.
Okay.
And then while he's doing that, you have another piece of parchment paper ready. Give it a little spray, because you want this to stay moist, or you could butter this. This goes over the top, just like that. Your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. And honey,
looks fantastic.
this goes in the oven. We're gonna cook this for about 30 to 35 minutes. So there.